Ladies and gents, welcome back to another video. In front of me here is a package with 4 iPads inside. The reason I bought this was there was one of them that caught my eye. These are supposed to all be iPad 2nd gens, and it was a really good price. The total price was right there, and that means the individual unit price is right here. So for me, that was a good enough value to purchase this lot of 4 iPads. So let's get it opened up, see if there's anything interesting inside, and hopefully we have 4 working iPads without any accounts or locks. Let's begin. All right, here we go. We'll start off here in the front. This is a white iPad with something going on there with the home button. I think that's like a little sticker on the home button there. This appears to be an iPad 2nd gen with 64 gigs of storage and 3G. So let's see if this has any power or if we're gonna need to plug that in. It does have power, and it's got the old Apple logo. So if I remember correctly, this was the iPad that I was most interested in. I believe it's running iOS 5 or 6, probably 6, but we'll see once that thing boots up. Moving on, we've got another iPad. This should be a 2nd gen. This is a 16 gig Wi-Fi only. This is EMC 2498. So this might actually be a 3rd gen. Let's see what happens when we power this on. We got our new Apple logo, and it is a 3rd gen. I can tell that is a Retina display. That probably won't show up on the camera for you guys. Moving on here, this feels like a 2nd gen, much lighter, and this is a 32 gig model, EMC 2416. This is the 3G version of the iPad 2nd gen. So does this have any power? And it does. That thing's booting up. Here is our first iPad. This does have iOS 6, it looks like. That's pretty cool. And last but not least, we have an iPad with a cracked screen. You guys can see the crack right there. And this feels like an iPad 2nd gen and EMC 2415. So that is the 2011 iPad 2nd gen, not the later refresh. So that means this does support iOS 6. All right, we've got these things booted up here, and I'm gonna go ahead and give them a quick clean because they're actually pretty dirty. All right, I got those cleaned up, but I want to try to get this little button or whatever off of the home button here. And I don't think this is part of the actual home button. It's starting to peel up there. There we go. All right, that looks a lot better. I'm not sure why that thing went ahead and rebooted itself. But okay, so this iPad is super clean. And really, they're all in really good condition on the front. This one's got these weird dots on it. I don't know what's up with that. They don't really wipe. Actually, yeah, they do. They do kind of wipe off. I just didn't do a great job. I think my cloth is a little dirty. So that one's pretty good. Does have a bright spot right there, if that shows up for you guys. And then we have our iPad 3rd gen. This is definitely a 3rd gen Retina display. I don't know if that'll show up for you all, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fly through the setup screen on all of these, and once we make it to the home screen, we will pick back up, assuming there are no iCloud issues with these devices, which I'm not anticipating, but you never know. Sometimes people just don't list things correctly. So let me go through the setup, and we will pick the video back up once I get these things ready to go. Okay, we've got some wins and losses here. Starting off down on the bottom left, we've got our iPad 2nd gen. This is the cracked model there, as you can see. This one's set up just fine. It is running iOS 9, and this is the 16 gig model, so nothing too special there, but fully functional and no accounts. Up here at the top, we have a 3rd gen iPad. This one also set up just fine. This is also iOS 9. This is a 16 gig model. So not the most exciting thing there, and there's really nothing we can do in terms of downgrades for that. Up here, we have an unfortunate case of an iCloud account. So this is locked to an Apple ID. This is the 2nd gen iPad 32 with 3G. So that's too bad. That would have been a good one to downgrade to iOS 6. And then down here we have an oddball. This is actually an iPad 3rd gen, 64 gig with 4G, but this thing just will not activate. I've been on my Wi-Fi here and it just sits here and spins and spins and spins. I plugged it into a MacBook and that doesn't work. And then occasionally it just reboots itself. So I don't know what the deal is with that. This is definitely the cool iPad of the bunch here. 3rd gen, 64 gig, 4G, and it appears to be running iOS 6. iOS 5 would be super sweet, but this looks like iOS 6 to me. I'm going to try a few more things. Hopefully we can get this iPad up and running because 3rd gens are beautiful with their Retina display, and to have one on iOS 5 or 6 is fantastic. So that's going to be the goal. This was probably shorter than you guys are used to for my videos, but I didn't even know if I wanted to make one, so I just decided why not. We'll set the camera up and we'll open up these iPads, and you guys got a quick look here at a few different models. So hope you enjoyed this video. Consider sticking around if you want to see some more interesting things. I know this wasn't really peak YouTube content here, but nonetheless, that has been a quick look at an unboxing of 4 iPads. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I look forward to seeing you in another one of my videos.